Hello to my Kundalini clan, full of star seeds, chosen ones, and all the beautiful souls that make up this wonderful collective. As you know, I am EJ the Empress, and I am here to give you all a collective message. Now, when I got up today, I'm still feeling a little bit under the weather. So the moment that you are still seeing this video, maybe you have lately had to purge from something. So if you resonate with that, then you may feel exactly how I feel, or maybe you just have empathy for what I currently feel. So there may be a few moments in this video where I have to clear my throat, or you may even notice a few pauses here and there, and that could be me just catching my breath. But I felt led to do this video today. And there is a heaviness that I felt. It's also raining today too, which, again, it makes me feel like a lot of energy is being cleansed away. So regardless of when you are seeing this video, you are meant to see this video right now. Even if you're coming back to it, you're still meant to see this video right now. Because the message that I'm about to give you is about how to heal so you can become the person you are destined to be. Now, I chose to do this reading because when I am filming this video, it is going to be the end of the year 2024, the end of the year of the 8. Now, technically, the 8 represents infinite energy and so many other wonderful aspects if you're into numerology. But now that we're making a energetic shift, I want you to be very aware if you are currently on the right path, and if you are not, what you need to do in order for you to get yourself back on the path that you are destined to be on. So if you're able to hear the rain, I hope it doesn't bother you too much, or maybe it soothes you, because it definitely soothes me. Maybe you can hear the train that is currently passing by. But I won't take up too much time on this introduction. I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to give you a healing spread, a journey spread, and a spread that shows your full potential. I said full potential. Your full potential. And although you cannot see what I see as I speak, allow yourself to see what it is you are meant to see, okay? I'm not filming cammed up, regardless if you see my talking hands or if you see my beautiful face. I'm doing this because I want you to pay attention to the message with your ears. So then not only does it resonate with you in your conscious mind, but then it rests in your subconscious mind. This could be a reading that you listen to over and over again, even before you go to sleep, whether you are at work, so then you don't feel obligated to have to watch, okay? Now that being said, let's get into it. All right, beautiful soul, my love, I may speak to you as if you are a child, but I feel like you need that. You've had to grow up faster than most people have. You've had to be put in situations where you've had to make a lot of sacrifices. You've gotten so used to being in this energy of having to make sacrifices that you don't even view the sacrifices as sacrifices. It's like you view them as just standard responsibility, and you haven't allowed yourself to recognize that some of these responsibilities you have taken on are not even your responsibility. But because you have gotten used to being in this energy of taking on other people's energy, it's caused some issues with you not being attached to yourself. This could show up in a multitude of ways. I feel as though with you may have struggled romantically when it comes down to life in general. Because when I say you've struggled romantically, what I mean is you haven't allowed yourself to do things that you love to do, whether it is a career, a hobby, or experiencing a healthy relationship that is rooted in true love. So even within your youth, you could have struggled with having true commitments, whether it was the other person's fault or you not wanting to take on too much responsibility within a union, but still wanting that affection and that physical touch. I want you to know that what you are currently going through in your life right now, things are happening the way that they are in order to highlight this. I feel like you know what I'm speaking on, but it hasn't really clicked until right now in this very moment that has been something you needed to heal from. Because again, you focus solely on your responsibilities that you put off a lot of things that you want. And it's not as if you're neglecting yourself, because you have intentions on treating yourself. You have intentions on allowing yourself to experience your desires. But what you fail to realize is that you're not moving as if you're going to execute what it is that you want. You keep telling yourself that you are, but you're not moving as if you are. That's the difference. This is a pattern you've picked up, though, because you've dealt with people who broke promises to you. So you learned to break promises to yourself, and you deemed it normal. It's like setting a goal, like, oh, I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to start reading more. I'm going to start eating better. And when it's time to do the thing, something else may come up to distract you or to put you off, or maybe you're just not in the mood for it. So you say, oh, okay, I'll put it off later. I'll start going to the gym tomorrow. I'll read the rest of that book next week. I'll finish this later. And then later almost turns into never. Or it may get to a point where you're not as consistent as you should be, to a point where the results that you were expecting to receive are not there, but you're not correlating the results with your actions. It's like you're correlating with the results with maybe it's not meant to be, not recognizing that you are in control. But you have been taught to not attach yourself to things that you are naturally meant to be attached to. Instead, you have taken on the responsibility that no longer belongs to you, but you keep moving as if it does. And it's okay. I promise you it's okay. Right now, in this very moment, as you listen to the sound of my voice, I want you to recognize that you will have more opportunities, because I feel you're now reflecting on things that have happened to you that you knew were for you. And it's like you allowed those opportunities to pass you by. This makes me feel like you had certain situations happen that you really wanted, but then it didn't necessarily happen for you. That was strategically ordained by your spirit team. They were not punishing you at all. What happened is that you were not in a position psychologically or spiritually to not only attain the thing, but to keep it. See, you can manifest something all day. You can ask for something. You can pray for something all day. But if you don't have the mindset and the capability to keep it, then it's not going to have longevity. It's going to leave you as quick as it came. And your spirit team doesn't want that for you, because again, you're already in this energy of having things come into your life, but nothing seems to stay attached. So now your spirit team is saying, hey, we're going to show you how loved you are. We're going to show you how amazing you are. We're going to show you who you are. But you must prioritize yourself in order for the longevity to exist. Because if you do not prioritize yourself, you get back into this habit of picking up responsibilities that do not belong to you. Love is something that has been on your mind, whether it is completely romantic love or just a desire to fall in love with life again. I feel it is a combination of both. It's as if with you, finding a romantic partner is not necessarily a struggle. I feel the resistance has been finding the right romantic partner and keeping the love alive. Because you've experienced love, you have, even in your dark moments, even in the toxicness, you have experienced love for what it needed to be in that moment. Each encounter that you had was a teaching moment. And maybe it didn't feel that way. Maybe it felt like hurt. Maybe it felt like betrayal. Maybe you even got to a point where there were ultimatums involved, whether someone gave you an ultimatum or you gave them an ultimatum. Ultimately, though, a lot of these things were not rooted in the love you desire at your core, but it was the love you needed to see in order for you to become the person you were needing to be at your core. Because in order for you to receive the things that you desire, you have to be the person worth receiving them. And it is not to say that you are not worthy of receiving it, but if you are not in that energetic field, if you are not on that energetic level, it cannot naturally align to you regardless of how much you desire it. This is something you needed to learn. So even with all of the sacrifices you made in the past, because, you were robbed of your childhood in more than one way. And I want you to know that everything toxic that happened to you was not your fault. None of it was. So even when things didn't go right in your romantic relationships, none of that was your fault either. Regardless, if you know the parts that you are responsible for, what I am speaking on is the relationships that did not work. Do not carry that energy on thinking you were not good enough, you could have changed something, or what if, could me and this person get back, what would that look like? Don't put yourself back in timelines that you know you would pay money to make sure you never experience them ever again. Do not put yourself back on timelines that you struggled escaping from. This is why prioritizing yourself is so important, because people made you feel like the sacrifices that you made ultimately made you a responsible person. Didn't you hate when people used to tell you, oh, you're so mature for your age. Oh, you're so wise. If only they knew what you had to experience in order for you to gain said wisdom. If only they knew the times you cried in order for you to become so wise. If only they knew, but they don't. And it's not their responsibility. They think that they are giving you a compliment, but in actuality, they are reminding you of the battles that you've had to face and who you have become. But that is okay. I am here to tell you that you are safe to prioritize yourself. It does not make you selfish. In order for you to be able and capable of giving to other people, you have to give to yourself. If you operate in an empty cup, you will feel drained. You will feel depressed. You will feel angry anytime somebody calls your phone. You will feel resentment anytime you are around a specific energy. So if you have been feeling any of those things, it is because you are resisting to prioritize yourself. You are doing things out of obligation instead of love and desire. That does not serve you. So believe me when I tell you, the Most High wants you to prioritize yourself. If anyone needs something, it is their responsibility to go to whatever God they pray to. It is their responsibility to manifest the things in their life, not yours. You've helped people enough, and I am hearing, job well done. You are not done, no, but you are finished helping other people, because now it is time for you to fully help yourself, because you will give so much to everyone else and breadcrumb yourself. You cannot be selfish with yourself. The more you are selfish, and what I mean you being selfish with yourself is you lacking the ability and empathy for yourself. If you do not make time for you, that means other people will neglect you too, because you neglect yourself. You are the blueprint. You determine how people treat you. If you mistreat you, that tells other people they can mistreat you as well. If you do not love yourself, you will naturally align to people who do not love you too. They are showing you the deepest and darkest parts of yourself. And I am not speaking on if you have experienced any type of true trauma. No, I'm not saying, oh, you asked for it. I'm not saying as a child, if someone touched you or did something wrong, that was reflecting it. No, that's reflecting pieces of them. But what I am saying is, if you walk with this energy of being a victim, you will have people that will treat you as such. If you walk with this energy of having that hurt determine how you move within society, then people will look at you as the hurt instead of you, the beautiful soul. Okay? So now that you are recognizing what your spirit team wants you to heal, we're now going to look at the journey that your spirit team is taking you down. This is going to show you your life purpose. Oh, my baby, let me tell you about your journey. Listen, if you have been tired, get you some rest, okay? I feel like you're going to need to get you some rest, because you are about to be busy. You are about to be busy. I feel as if you have been planning out a lot. And maybe you're in this energy of feeling like you're doing so much, yet you're doing nothing at all. And that is okay. If you feel that way, I need you to take a deep breath in and exhale. It's okay. You're exactly where you are supposed to be. Do not think that you have to be in this rat race and you are just running so fast. That is like you're on a hamster wheel. You're doing all of this work and you feel like you're not going anywhere. It's okay. I promise you, you are right where you're supposed to be. Honestly, I need you to remember you manifested this on yourself. And I know you may be thinking, EJ, how did I manifest this onto myself? You said you wanted your life to be easy. You said you want to get to a point where you're making money in your sleep. And then you wonder why you be so tired. You said you wanted to get to a point where You don't have to work so hard to get stuff done. You talked about how but then you get so indecisive sometimes when you get into your ego, when things are not going good. You're like, I just want to have just enough. That's kind of like how you speak. In so many ways, you would be satisfied with the bare minimum. And you know that's not how you really feel. You know you really desire a life of luxury. It's just your idea of luxury is a little bit different than the standard luxury. And that is a part of it too. Being able to sleep in this economy, in this society, actually is a luxury. Because there are a lot of people who they can't afford to sleep. They have to be up constantly. So when your spirit team is giving you this energy of rest, is because they are aware of how exhausted you get. And they're giving you the luxury of being able to sleep because they know how wealthy you truly are. You may not be able to see the wealth in the physical, but the fact that it resides within your spirit should let you know that you will soon be able to see it in the physical. I promise you that. The thing that you are needing to know is that you are meant to be in the public eye. You are meant to be seen. You have the power to control how much of you is seen. You control the narrative. You do not have to bare your soul to everyone you come across, but do not shrink yourself when you are out in public. Regardless if you are online on social media or if you are out in the real world. I need you to know this is a part of your life's purpose to be seen, heard, and felt. You are supposed to share yourself with the world. So regardless of what that translates to you, this is your confirmation. A part of your life purpose is to show yourself. Why am I getting Elsa? Show yourself. Why am I getting Elsa? And I'm also getting John Wick. Okay. Let me find out. You got a pew pew? You be trying to pew pew people? Is that what it is? Oh my goodness. I think that's it. You have a childlike energy that wants to explore and be seen. But a piece of you wants to be so serious, like John Wick. A piece of you feels like you have all these missions you have to handle before you're able to finally get your rest. Like, no, I have to get rid of this. I have to get rid of this. I have to get rid of that. And make no mistake, John Wick got it done. So did Elsa. Elsa did it with love. John Wick, he did it with love, but he also did it with force and his abilities. And he was able to use every piece of himself, just like Elsa did too. Okay, so maybe they are a little bit similar. Even then, though, you're way closer to this than what you know. So whether you are already operating in this energy currently or still deciphering on how you want yourself to be seen, heard, and felt, I want you to know there is no wrong way to go about this. So do not ask the question, well, how? My love, that is up to you. That is the beauty of being a soul having a human experience. You get to try every single thing. Every single thing. You can do it all. It doesn't matter if you want people to hear you through writing a book. It doesn't matter if you want people to see you, if you create some type of cartoon, manga, or even if I want you to tap into your creativity. Tap into things that you really, really love, because that was all a part of that healing, right? So it's not cliche for someone to tell you, oh, do the things you love, do the things you love. No, 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 no. In this day, among society, if you don't do the things you love, then what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to do what other people want you to do? No, that's not a part of your life purpose. What's the point? If that's the case, you might as well sign up to just assist with AI robotics, meaning you turn into a robot yourself. No, we're not doing that. And that's a part of that detour. That's the sacrifices you have to start making now. Oh, look at that. How everything does a 180. You're so used to making sacrifices anyway, so why not make these kind of sacrifices? Why not get rid of things that don't make you happy? You can't get rid of one of your parents, okay? You just can't. I don't know why I felt that. Like, well, I can't just get rid of my mom. Oh my goodness. I want you to know, if there's any family, friends, anyone close to you who you genuinely love, but they do bring out this energy inside of you that makes you shrink yourself, distance yourself from them. You don't have to flat out and, just sever the tie of that relationship unless you genuinely desire to. That is okay. There is no pamphlet in book. There is no commandment law that says thou shall not, no longer speak to parents, or else thou shall go to hell. Like there's not that. It's not. They, and this is coming from a biblical standpoint, mind you, I do not practice any religion. I have respect for all religions, but I do not identify with any of them. So this is for educational purpose that I say this. But know that when they speak on that Ephesians 6 and 8, I believe it's the verse. I could be wrong. Again, educational purposes, okay? Don't come for me. But they speak on honor your parents, But they don't speak on the other verse that speaks on how the parents are supposed to honor the children in a way of teaching and protecting. So even when you allow yourself to be in this energy of being selfless for you, that means saying no when you know that something is going to trigger you. That's a part of it. Don't move out of obligation. Oh, well, I have to do this because this is my mom, this is my father, this is my grandmother, my grandpa. I don't care how much you love Nana and Papa. If you need to distance yourself from them, then do so. Truthfully, a lot of people like yourself get put in the families that they are in, so you get used to having to do these types of things. If you cannot withstand having to let go of people close to you, you will struggle with letting strangers go, because the people close to you are clearly triggering you, and you are only keeping them around because of their title or who you feel they are to you, which would be another reason why you become okay with sacrificing your happiness. You become okay with being placed in toxic relationships. Again, this is not a part of your life's purpose. No. So having to be in a sovereign journey for a while, it may feel a bit uncomfortable starting out, because no one talks about when you begin to ascend spiritually, how lonely it can feel at first, until you recognize and see the perspective of saying, oh, this is actually not lonely. This is actually peaceful. You were feeling anxiety about what they would think about you distancing yourself, and you called it loneliness because you were so used to being in a room full of people who truly made you feel alone. But once you got alone, you really felt at peace. And then when it was time for you to go back around them, you possibly felt anxiety all over again. So I want you to be able to see that it is not meant for you to be alone. It is meant for you to learn how to go into hermit mode, how to come out of hermit mode, how to protect yourself so you can go back into hermit mode for that cleansing and that clarity, okay? Because I need you to know with your relationships, it is meant for you to have a tribe outside of your immediate familia. Your family is not necessarily meant to be a part of your tribe. That's not to say no one in your family is not supposed to be in your tribe. You can be selective. But again, this could be why many of your family members triggered you. So then you recognize, family does not have to equal to bloodline. It does not. If you have done some past life regression meditation, you may find that some of your family may have even been an enemy in your past life. But we won't talk about that too much. I want to focus on your family right now, your true soul tribe. That is a part of your purpose. I want you to know you're going to have a solid 3 people outside of your familia that are going to be in your soul tribe forever once you meet them. This is specifically ordained by your spirit team. They all serve a specific purpose in your life. 3 people. 3. So I need you to know that even within this energy of you being by yourself temporarily, because you do have people around you, but you know how to be selective. Still learning, but you do know how to be selective, right? So don't allow yourself to backpedal. Because for some reason, I feel like sometimes you do this out of boredom. You go back to old energy because you're reflecting on the memories. Do not do that, okay? It is not lonely at the top. It's just a lot of nonsense at the bottom. And what I don't want you to do is revert back to lowering your energy and then rooting back to those sacrifices you once made. Because I feel that old energy would end up either tainting you or using your good energy for their own selfish gain, but then calling it love and admiration. No, protect yourself and protect your peace. Because when I look at your money, where you are destined to be, your income, I have multiple streams. You are meant to have multiple streams of money. Look at you, all wealthy and stuff. Can I borrow $5? Can I have $50? You can't afford $50. You can't afford $50. I love when I see this energy because for you, you've wanted this. You've experienced this before. You know, you would work jobs, you would get opportunities. Oh, that was small. That was like mediocre. When you get to a point, and I mean that with all love, but that was mediocre. When you get to this point where this money is coming in for you, oh baby, you're gonna sit back and be able to tell people all of the things you have done, because you've done a lot. You've worked a lot of different jobs. You've switched up your career ideas, and you'll be able to share that with people and let them know, hey, I thought I wanted to do this. I thought I wanted to be this. I thought I loved this. But now look at me. You're actually going to pick up something you used to do a long time ago. You've forgotten about this. I feel there's something that was hinted to you about this, but you still haven't really touched on it. You may have glanced at it for a second. But I'm telling you, when you pick that thing back up, oh, that's your passive income. That's your long money. That's what I'm hearing. That is your long, your long money. Like, oh yeah, you got money for real. You got money. Because with this specific thing, it takes time to do. That's why you put it down. Because you love to do this, but you are very aware and you know, like, if I focus on this, I have to really, really focus on it. And because you are doing all of these other things, it's like you don't currently have the time. But when I tell you, as the rain begins to pour down harder where I am, this specific thing is going to flood money into your life like you've never experienced, to a point where when you see the success, you're going to cry. And this is going to be a good cry, because I know how you feel about crying. I know you have your reservations about it, but no, this is going to be a good cry. This is going to be a part of you expressing it to other people that, hey, you can switch up what you are choosing to do. I decided to go back and pick this up and changed my life forever. It is a reason why you did it so long ago. You knew that that was a part of your life purpose. That's why you did it when you were younger. Your soul knew, but then life happened and the world tainted you and told you, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you got to be realistic. Oh, that's not going to work. You're not going to make no money doing that. The things that seem impossible are the things that you are truly meant to do. The things that feel scary are the things that help you build character so you have the confidence to complete it. So I promise you, you're going to have multiple streams of income, but this specific thing is going to load you up. There is something else that you are wanting to do creatively that is going to jumpstart more income coming in for you in the next few months. This is something that you're currently working on right now in this moment. You have been hesitant about continuing to do it because you're not seeing the progress that you want. I'm telling you, keep doing it. Keep doing it. It has an expiration date. It does. But the expiration date has not come yet. This specific income is meant to come in during a specific time because there's something that you're supposed to invest in that you haven't completely allowed yourself to indulge in because you have been looking at investing into stuff, but you're not as educated as you think. It's like you feel that you want to invest into one thing, but your mind's going to change. You're going to make a shift. There are going to be 3 things that you invest in specifically. One of them makes me feel like it's something small, but it has a big return, but the return takes a long time. This makes me feel like Bitcoin. Like if you had invested into Bitcoin in the beginning, and then you see like years from now or years from then, what Bitcoin is at the moment. So whenever you see this, I don't know what the amount Bitcoin will be worth, but just it's on that type of energetic level, okay? So whatever you are choosing to invest into, make sure you research, move in confidence, and consult with your spirit team. Whenever you are confused about making a choice, always consult with your spirit team if you do not do that already, okay? Now, I want to look at the next goal for you. What should be the next goal? Wow. Your next goal should really be rehabilitating yourself. See, a part of you having that energy of being tired and needing rest is because you haven't grieved the way you needed to grieve. And this could also be why, if you are resonating with being sick, like how I'm still recovering from sickness, that could be a part of it too. When your energy needs to be cleansed, it can show up in a multitude of ways. It could show up as just isolation. It could show up as a money loss because you're needing to stop doing one thing so you have the energetic room to do something else to bring in more money. It could absolutely be your body needing to purge because you're not eating the way you should be eating, or you're not doing the necessary exercises you're supposed to gain the body that you actually want. Like your body may be going through certain pains. But I'm also seeing a psychological cleanse, a purge, because again, you have not grieved certain things. It's like you get into this energy of bypassing. Like even when you experience a broken heart, you just do stuff to keep yourself busy. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to cry. You don't want to be angry. This is why I said I know how you feel about crying. It bothers you. You don't want to feel weak. You don't want to feel helpless. I mean, how can you feel helpless? No one is giving you the room to feel safe enough to express your emotions without talking about you, without saying, oh, what are you crying for? Or I will give you something to cry about. Or, oh, you're being so sensitive. Or you're always crying, even though in that moment you didn't cry a lot. But because they didn't want to deal with your emotions, they project onto you that something is wrong with you for feeling the emotions that you feel. And I am telling you, you are safe right now. If you desire to cry, let it out. Because if you hold it in, it will create a crutch inside of your body that could also translate into this sickness. It could translate into pain. And this is speaking from experience. I got to a point where I was so down and depressed. I stayed in the bed for 2 weeks straight. Did hardly move at all. Unless I needed to relieve myself. I didn't eat. I developed sciatica. That's what the doctor diagnosed me with. Because of the stress that built up in my body from everything I was going through. Once I began to heal myself and I began to rehabilitate, meditate, get my mind together, I got into my witch-like energy too. And I used specific herbs to heal myself as well. Once I went to a different doctor for a second opinion. No trace of sciatica. And this is something that they claim you cannot cure. Like, oh, once you develop it, it just never goes away. You're always going to need rehabilitation for it. But here I am, moving from a place where half of my body was beginning to be paralyzed. I was struggling to use my left leg in my 20s. How is it, as youthful as I am struggling to use my legs out of stress? People do not realize that when you have mental, emotional, psychological, and spiritual issues, it can develop as a physical ailment. So I am telling you, allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to purge. If you are angry, let it out. Don't do it by self-inflicted pain. Don't do it by hurting other people. If you need to go to a rec room to destroy stuff, if there is no rec room near you, maybe you can go to some type of dollar store, buy a lot of cheap items and then just destroy them in a confined space, do so. If you need to burn some stuff down, burn some old clothes, burn some old documents, things that mean no value to you, do so. If you need to cry it out, cry it out. If you need to just soothe yourself, really soothe yourself. If you are needing any type of healing and it is rooted within childhood trauma, go to the description. Go to the link that says Inner Child Healing Workbook. Get my Inner Child Healing Workbook. I give you a calendar so you can go through each day and pick your choice on how you're going to heal. Only if it resonates with you, okay? But I do see this is something that you definitely have to work on in order for you to get to your true soul's purpose. Because healing is not a one and done. It's not. True healing comes when you're able to be around the thing or the person that has hurt or triggered you. But how can you know if you're not in this energy of constantly being able to heal properly? Because it's not to say that once you heal, you can never get triggered. That's a false pretense. The thing about healing, though, is knowing how to get yourself back better, knowing how to ground yourself in those moments so they don't impact you and affect you the way that they used to. That is true healing, okay? So when we get to the absolute root of your life's purpose, your life's purpose is simply meant for you to be open to receiving. That's it. That's what you are meant to do. And I know that seems broad, but if you think about it in a true spiritual perspective, it's actually meant to be that way. Open to receive knowledge, open to receive love, open to receive money, open to receive safety and freedom, open to receive assistance and help, open to receive hurt. Why would we want to be open to receive hurt? Hurt doesn't always come in the form that we think it should, right? I mean, no one's just going around asking to be hurt. No. There are some things that are inevitable. When you walk with that energy and you're still open to receive it, whether it is a teaching moment, whether the hurt exists because of disappointment, being open to the idea that there is a reason behind it, and being open to knowing that regardless of which path you choose to go down, you will always end up exactly where you are meant to be. Oh, beautiful energy, my love. Now, as you go through this energy of embodying a caterpillar and now experiencing a new path that puts you in this energy of being a brand new butterfly, we're going to look at all of your potentials for your soul's journey, because you've gotten a chance to see what your soul's journey looks like, right? So now we're going to look at your strengths, your weaknesses. We're going to look at your mental state, your natural talents and advantages. And we're going to see if right now, in this very moment, as you are watching, if indeed you are in your fullest potential with achieving your life's purpose. So I want to focus for a second on your strengths. And you are so strong. Oh, baby, you a boss. That's why I was talking to you like you a baby. Boss baby. You see how I keep tapping into like these movies and some of them are cartoon related? I love that. Definitely gives me the energy that you are indeed on the path of your life's purpose. So if you had any doubt in your mind before you clicked this video, I am telling you, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to listen. Let this be your confirmation. Hear me and hear me clear. You were born to be a boss from the womb to the tomb. And even as I was saying, hear me, it's like I wanted to say, hear me roar. It's like you are needing to allow yourself to speak this over yourself. You are needing to let out a war cry. Maybe you need to get in your animalistic energy, tapping into your spirit animal, or finding an animal totem. But you are definitely needing to know who you are. You need to notice. Like, why am I also getting Frank Saint? Like, what is that? What? Frank Saint? Oh, Franklin Saint. Oh, you Saint? Oh, you Saint? Hey, listen, don't end up like he did at the end now. You know, he was the boss, but then he turned, you know. That's Snowfall. Yeah. But no, I feel the reason why I had to say that is because even with his energy, he hesitated with taking his power. His issue was he had a power struggle and got too desperate for power. I don't feel like you will ever experience that per se, but I think it's just the respect that Saint had throughout the series. That's why I had to say it. And I had to focus on the Saint part because for you, you're gaining power directly from the source, directly from the Most High. It's not a power that you had to take or steal or that's being micromanaged by bad people. No. And that's your strength. That's your strength. Being able to get from under people that try to micromanage you. It's like you're a little sneaky. I see that. You would be in situations where people would try to like handle you, but you would end up handling them without them even knowing that they got handled by you. Ooh, okay. Do I need to be nervous? Do I need to be scared of you a little bit? No, I like it. I love it. Actually, I do. Keep that. It gives me the energy of 48 laws of power, letting people think anything they want about you because you know the truth, letting people think they are smarter than you, wiser than you, when you are actually the wisest person in the room. Keep this energy. It suits you. Now, your weakness, on the other hand, sometimes you don't have that direct fighting spirit. It's like sometimes you give up when you should keep going. This is why I had to tell you how much of a boss you are. Like sometimes you are hesitant with stepping into your power. It reminds me of being in like a grocery store and then you feel someone is like too close to you. So then you move out of the way for your comfort, not recognizing you moving out of the way is you semi-shrinking yourself because you were there first. They should move because they're lacking respect for your space and your boundary. So instead of you moving for your comfort, you should speak up for your protection. Hey, do you mind sliding over? You're a little too close. Or can you ask me to, give you room instead of you trying to be all over me? I feel like that is something that you need to work on. Because even then, I don't think you recognize people feel your energy anyway. And once you move, it doesn't matter if you're looking at the person or if you're just standing there, they're going to feel you. And it's going to scare them a little bit because your silence speaks louder than your words. This is why I am telling you, you might as well just speak up anyway. You need to get used to advocating for yourself and not feeling as if you are problematic for doing so, because you're not. It is a problem with you keeping yourself in this celestial energy and then you're leaving upset. Because I feel that's something that you do. You don't like drama, you don't like problems, but once the interaction is over, it may still bother you. And then you wonder why it bothers you. It's because you didn't allow yourself to fight for yourself in that moment. So get used to that, because I feel like a part of you have a fear of dominating. You have a fear of appearing too strong. You have a fear of appearing too aggressive. And again, what you fail to realize is you do that anyway. You do that without even trying. And maybe that's a part of it too. You're aware of your energy. And you're like, well, I don't want to prove them right, because they already assume that I'm a mean person, or they already assume, I'm this angry, aggressive person. And if I speak up for myself, it only proves them right. Not necessarily. It's how you go about it. But not saying anything, that creates inner conflict within yourself. Not showing up for yourself would cause you to be even more angry, would cause you to have even more resentment, to where when the anger shows up, it's like, not only are you mad about that situation, you're mad about a lot of other stuff that is happening too. So you need to allow yourself to speak up. You can speak with eloquence. You can use your words. You're good with diction. So do not think that you have to project what people assume about you. Because when you speak with intellect, it's like, oh, dang, you're intimidating and you're intelligent? Yeah, show them who you are. Now I see why I got that Frank Saint Pharrell, because this makes me feel like when Leon went to speak to him, when he got locked up that first time and those guys had jumped on him, and he was so angry. He was like, you need to show them who you are. Show them who you are. Because here it is, Saint had all of this power, but he wasn't using it because he didn't want to cause problems. He didn't want to end up staying longer. He didn't want to be in that energy. He didn't want to have to beat his chest just to prove who he was, because they knew who he was and they wanted to break his spirit. You have energy that lurks, that will intentionally try to break your spirit. And sometimes you let it. You do. So I'm telling you this. So now you move forward and you advocate for yourself, because your strength is you knowing you a boss, but your weakness is showing up as if you're not. Your weakness is pretending that you're not. That's what it feels like to me. Because you know you're a boss. Yeah, you pretend like you're not. You pretend like, come on now. You know who you are. You know who you are. And in a way, you kind of want to use that when you're in those situations, but then you don't want to do that either. You're so humble. Oh my God, you're so humble. You're too humble. You need to stop that. You're too humble. Create some balance so then you can be more at peace with yourself. Because advocating for you does not mean you're at war with the world. Truth be told, you're already at war with the world by default. It doesn't matter what you do. There's always going to be something that's lurking that might be out to get you. So you can't control that. But when you're at peace with yourself, it doesn't matter who you're at war with. Okay? Now, that being said, as far as your mental state goes, I know you're open to receive. I know you're ready to receive. You have been hungry. That's why I called you this hungry caterpillar. You want and desire so much. So think about all the things that you want and desire, right? You have to have the fighting spirit to protect those things once you receive them. So get into the habit of being okay with speaking up, being okay with taking up space. Forget always using your voice. Be okay with taking up space, my love, because I don't think you realize how you shake rooms as soon as you walk in the door. You shake rooms. And I'm going to tell you this too. Instead of you always feeling like you have to get out of the way, you better walk with your head up every day. Because I don't know why I feel that. Like you willingly get out of the way. And sometimes it is good to do that, especially if you feel your safety could be compromised. But even when you walk, if someone is walking on the same aisle as you, and I really, really mean this, if someone's walking on the same aisle as you, right? And you know you were there first, don't get out of the way for them. They get out of the way for you. Or they ask you. They say, excuse me. Because I do see you come across a lot of rude people. A lot of rude people. And maybe, just maybe, you were being put on their path to humble them. Because then when you speak up, it's going to turn a switch off in their life. It's going to remind them that they're actually not the main character. They're a sideshow. Because people like that, they do those things because they want that type of attention. Not everyone is meant to be a main character. Like, yeah, maybe in their world, but no, you're a true main character in society. So act like it, respectfully. Yeah. Because see, your natural talent is you being able to have so much empathy with people. You see people so well. You can tell when someone's going through something, even when they pretend like they're okay. You can tell when something is off, even when everyone else is just going along as if it's just a normal day. You know things that people don't. Very empathetic. Very knowing. It's like you're able to know things without even trying. And that could be something that bothers you too. The fact that you receive information about stuff that you really don't want to know about. And then you could try to be so helpful. And then if you try to be helpful to a specific person and they don't want your help, it's like, well, hey, I was just trying to help you. That's okay too. I need you to know that this specific energy that you possess, use it for you. The right people are going to love you and respect you because you're so open to helping and assisting. So do not assume that you are just supposed to toss your natural talents to the side. But I'm also getting, you haven't allowed yourself to experience to the fullest all of your natural talents beyond the spiritual things. Because there are other talents that you have, you've put them down. Especially if, let's just say, you are a musician or a singer, if you write poetry, if you do public speaking, if you are an actor, if you do stage plays, it's just something about using your voice, right? If that part resonates with you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be you just using your voice in that way, but those are just the standard ways that I know, people typically use their voice. But with that could also be why you don't advocate for yourself how you're supposed to as well. You don't advocate for yourself with your natural talents. You don't allow yourself to use your voice. Whatever robbed you of desiring to use your voice, you need to heal that now. If you do not heal it now, I'm telling you, you're going to experience a sadness. And this sadness is going to be worse than the sadness you experienced before. And the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because that piece of yourself that needs healing, that's your switch. The switch that determines your true success. That switch alone creates a chain reaction for all the other things that you want to do, because your voice is your power. It's not just about the art stuff that I spoke about. No. all things artsy, that those are wonderful. No, your voice allows you to speak and be heard. And how educated you are determines how people listen. So I want you to break free from thinking that your voice doesn't matter, thinking that people don't want to hear you, thinking that, oh, it's just a waste of time. I'm speaking about your voice in general. So even when it comes down to people that trigger you, whether you know them or not, because I know family does it. I'm not telling you have to just change these people and you are the only one who can, assist them with breaking whatever bad habits or generational curses that they are supposed to be working on. No, don't set too much time aside. That's their responsibility, not yours. But when you advocate for yourself and you use your voice, it sets off a switch in them to wake up, just like it would do for that stranger. So use your voice, okay? Now, I'm going to highlight an unfair advantage in your life. And the main one that you've had to struggle with is having to always find a way to get something done. You felt like this is an unfair advantage, but to me, this feels like an advantage that works in your favor. But I believe that the reason why it feels like an unfair advantage is because it's like you felt like you have always had to take the hard way to get stuff done. And there is a part of you that feels that other people have had it easier than you. So you may walk with a little, chip on your shoulder because you know who you are, but you don't realize you're the reason who shrunk yourself. No one else did this. They projected onto you. Yes, they hurt you. Yes, they abused you. But it's your responsibility to say, I will not own what you tried to give me. And yes, no one taught you this, but this is why you are hearing it right now. So then the change begins to happen. So because you've been in this energy of always having to find a way, this has really set you up for success because you don't think like a normal person does. You're able to come up with creative solutions. Meanwhile, you have other people who are one-dimensional and think, well, this is the way it's supposed to be solved. This is how I've always done it. And you're like, what? So you'd rather just stay on this hill that's not getting you anywhere? You're like, forget that. If I have to sit here and try 5 or 6 other ways to solve it, we're going to get it resolved. We're going to figure this thing out. That's something that you have gotten tired of having to do. You've gotten tired of having to constantly solve a problem. Oh, I have to do this. And then as soon as you solve this problem, there's something else that's coming up. But don't you always find a way? And that's it. You're tired of always having to find a way. You're wanting for your life to just be figured out. Newsflash, my love, your life is damn near never going to always be figured out. That's not the point. The point is for you to be open, remember? Be open to those creative solutions. Be open to that knowledge. Be open to it. When you view it in that way of being open, it makes those situations almost fun. Think of it like a puzzle or a video game. It's like, oh, let me figure out how I can solve this now. Oh, okay. Oh, like once you begin to switch how your perspective digests problems, that's when life becomes back fun again. Because instead of walking with this like, oh, I'm always going to have a problem. Oh, I'm always going to have a way to solve them. I'm capable, more than capable. Yeah? And that's not being in false positivity. That's you seeing who you are and simply knowing that you can get anything done because of who you are. Yes. So even as I look at your full potential on being able to achieve your life's purpose, my love, you are making the necessary changes, especially after hearing my words. Oh, you're about to switch it up. You're going to switch it up all the way. You're going to start catching yourself from shrinking yourself in public places. You may even get bold enough and just start telling people, excuse you, can you move? Can you get out of the way? Or even then, you might be even more bold. If someone tries to walk past you without saying, excuse me, you may end up shoulder bumping the heck out of that person to where they're like, excuse you, excuse me, you walked up on me. To where now, they have to check themselves. And I know you do not like conflict. I'm not telling you to just, go knock people over. It's never that. But it's you being the boss. You knowing who you are. And allowing yourself to take up space without you feeling guilty about it. Because real bosses don't feel guilty about being the boss. Good bosses know that they have the empathy and the knowledge to assist those who are in business with them. A good boss is not going to put the people around them in harm's way and in jeopardy on purpose. Because depending on when you are listening to this, currently, there's a lot of things happening with these CEOs that are being attacked for not being such good bosses. When you show up and show people how it's done, you become the example that people want to be. Become the person who your inner child wish they would have had around them to emulate and be their role model. Be that person every single day. Even if you need to get a picture of yourself when you were a child and put it up on your wall every day. I'm doing this for you. That's what you say to that picture. Hey, today's going to be a beautiful day for us. I'm doing this for you. Take it from me. Hey, I got a tattoo of myself at 4 years old. I purposely chose that age because so much of my life changed at the age of 4. And people looked at me crazy when I got the tattoo. They're like, why would you get a tattoo on your face as a baby? I said, I have to keep my inner child close to me. I need to see her every day. And then I'll have some people like, you still look the same. You still got the baby face. Yeah. So a piece of me operates in my inner child every single day. And I work towards my changes. And I can only hope that you continue to work towards yours. This concludes this collective message for you. I am sending you love. I am sending you lightness. I am sending you the energy that you need to exude at your highest energetic degree. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. And if you enjoy these type of videos, leave me a comment expressing your gratitude with whatever emoji you want, whether you want to post the meditative sitting, which just symbolizes the Kundalini gland sign, a green heart, or a 100 sign, whatever symbol that resonates with you. It doesn't even matter at this point. I am just glad to have you here with me. So, wherever you are, enjoy your day, afternoon, evening, or night. Until we see each other again, I love you. God loves you. Love and light. Ashe.